over here, who's also known as Blanche, and then Val, who's also known as Rose, Marina, who is also known as Sophia, and I am Cleo, and I am Dorothy. I'm also known as Dorothy. So we're here today to talk about politics and all the goofiness that goes with it, as well as maybe some stuff that you haven't heard about that we just think might be happening. So before we
Absolutely.
get started, I don't know that there's that many people in here yet, but so Marina, if you want to shout out hello to all the people that are in the chat section.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we've got Linda H. Hello, Linda H. joining us again. And we have got Mickey Taylor. Hi, Mickey. Louise Food. Hello. Um, Artist Liz. Nice to see you again. Rossi. Hello, Rossi. Linda De Gonzalez. Barbara Nespers. We've got Michelle from Astrological Tarot. Hello, Michelle. Rossi says, Marina and Val, make sure you press the right button.
Hey, hey, hey.
That was an experience. Yeah. Yeah. We've got Kathy G. And yeah, Astrological Tarot. Michelle says, make sure you're subscribed to comment. The algorithm has been kicking a few people off. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
was told the other night that YouTube has developed some new algorithms that they've plopped in there, and that's what's kicking people off because it's configuring differently. I don't know how accurate that is. I think it was Aiden that told me that, and I figure he knows computers. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So
Could be. Yeah.
take it or leave it.
Yeah.
But y'all
And-
just check your subscriptions.
Yes. Yeah, definitely make sure. Yeah. Okay. Kathy Goodwin, Rose Blue. We've got Sandy H. Let's see who else is here. Dorian. Hello, Dorian. Welcome back. Mickey Walk. Hello. Lisa Bassage. Nice to see you. So yeah, those are some of the folks that have joined us. Karina Grace. Hello, Karina Grace. Nice to see you here. She is a subscriber. Jackie O. The Jackie O. Hello. So yes.
We will definitely be doing mediumship tonight then.
Yes. Welcome to the show, everyone. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Go to everyone's channels and do the YouTube thing. Make sure, yes, that you are subscribed. Double check, because we had a situation here, I think it was last week, that Sherry, who is a subscriber to my channel, she is also a moderator on my channel, and she is a member on my channel. And all of a sudden, yeah, she's trying to chat and she's not subscribed. So, you know, if you can go in, just take a look, double check, make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure that you've got the little bell turned on, because that will let you know whenever any of us are doing a show. It will send out a little notice to you half an hour beforehand. You can decide if you wanted to watch the show or not, but at least you get the warning, which is a whole lot better than, you know, just going on YouTube and catching a stream and going, oh, great. You know, they've got 5 minutes left to go in the show. So there's that. There's, if you're interested in booking a reading with either me or Val or Sherry, just get in touch, go to our various channels, look in the About Me section, and you'll see our emails are listed there. You can reach out to us, and yeah, we can set up your reading that way. You can also, in our various pages, you can also look in the community tab and find out what we're up to, what channels we're doing, what shows we're doing. And you'll also get to find out about any classes that we are running. such as I started the Achieving Union class again. It started yesterday. There's still time for those of you, if you're interested in signing up for it, you can. It's a self-directed 30-day course.
I'm saying take the class.
Thank you, Sherry. Yeah, Sherry took the last one.
I took it and it was wonderful. So
Good.
Next up is to take Val's class.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So yeah, you can still get in it because, as I say, it is self-directed, and that means you're kind of going to go at your own pace. You get a short little 5-10 minute video every day with some exercises, and the purpose of the course is to help you achieve a stronger union with spirit. And what that means is that at the end of the 30 days, and after you've done the exercises, you should have a much better idea of when spirit is talking to you versus ego, outside noise, chatter, whatever. So you can do that. And I know that my friend Val also has some classes coming up. So take it over, Val. As I take over Cleo's show. Cleo is just sitting back like, yeah,
well, no, I love the.
We're gonna let you handle it tonight.
Well, I love the classes that you're promoting here, because that's exactly where I'm at with my channel. Is I want everybody to come together and everybody to to connect with their spirit guides. So, yes. Val, what do you got going on class?
So, yeah, well, I have a Akashic record reading class, and it's coming up May 11th. And Allie of Heart and Soul Connected is my admin on that show, or that class rather. So helping me with everything. And it is a class that you will be able to come out of that talking to your Akashic record masters. You can read for yourself. You can read for other people. It will really change your life in a big way. And it's so inexpensive. It's like my gift to you, practically. So there is that. And also my meditation class is coming up June 1st, which is another way to connect with your guides and talk to them. And in that class, every single one of my students connected with their guides and got messages many times during that class. So it is a surefire way and is the foundation for all my classes, by the way. And by the next class with Gerald is manifesting in the quantum field. And we teach you how to connect with your quantum field advisor to order up what you want from the universe and what those steps are that you'll need to successfully navigate that. And that is on June 9th on Sunday. Check that out. And let's see, I think Allie and I are going to have a mediumship class coming up. So that'll be in a couple of months, but we're going to put it out there very shortly, and you can sign up for that one. And that's what I got going.
Wow. Great. Really cool. So, Sherry, what do you got going on?
I have to literally look at my book. Let me see. I've got polytarology tomorrow night with all of us, and I've got a live with Helen, Irish Granny Tarot, and Nate, clairvoyant psychic, on Saturday. Sunday is monthly mysteries with Amy. We're doing a thing on her family's castle back in England, Scotland, I don't know, somewhere like that. I don't really know. I'm like, don't tell me anything. I just a cold read for me. Yeah. And then I've got a live with Sylvia from Colorful Foresight, and then just regular stuff the rest of the week. A couple of personal readings sprinkled in there. So busy.
Oh, okay. Well,
and I'm hoping to get memberships rolled out this weekend.
Okay.
I'm hoping so. We'll see.
So I've got the same thing you got going on Friday with the polyterology, and I guess we're all going to probably be involved in that. And then on Monday, we've got a special caffeinated and unfiltered with with Gerald from Tarot Stash. That's his show, and he's added a couple people to that show for Monday. Can't remember who they are.
Marina and Wisdom Seeker Joan will be our special guests on that show.
There we go. Thank you, Val. And then next week, next Thursday, we have
I'm sorry, I misspoke. Let me correct myself. I'm sorry. Jane the Seer.
yeah, Jane
Our
the Seer.
special guest, not Wisdom Seeker Joan. And Wisdom Seeker Joan, I apologize. You're on my mind from the other day where I did a reading for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Jane
Marina.
Oh.
the Seer or Seeker or Seer.
Yeah.
Jane,
I think it's Jane the
Seer.
I think it's Jane the Seer.
I believe that's it. Yeah.
And she does fabulous readings too. So
I know Joan when I took a first like a channeling type class with Danny, and I got paired up with Joan. Oh my God, she intimidated me to the point that I was like I couldn't speak. I mean, it's just flowing out of her, and I'm like, I was
Jane
like
the Seer is just as amazing. She did fabulous readings on caffeinated and unfiltered last week. We were like, oh, she was amazing.
Yeah,
she did even mediumship on the spot.
I think her name is.
It's like Sun Psychic Jean, man. Jean flips me out the way she does that.
What is it?
Jane the Seeker Tarot.
Jane the Seeker Tarot.
Yeah, there you go.
And she is fabulous, and she'll be on. Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay. So, as far as what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about politics, but I also want to talk about what's been going on the college campuses with all the protests and what they're concerned about the United States involvement in the war, and they want us to discontinue the money because they feel that it's adding to all the deaths and for the Palestinians. First of all, I want to say I support these people 100%. I mean, I get where they're coming from. I understand why they want to do what they're doing. However, I think, now I don't know this for positive, but this is something that had actually come to me earlier, is that really a lot of the money is for humanitarian, to help bring in food and medicine and help. So that, it's not all money that the United States gives them is not going to add to the war. It's to help the people. So, but I do agree with them. I mean, this war is terrible. Thousands and thousands of people have died it just didn't have to be that way. So, does anybody else have anything they want to say about that?
Well, I think it's really bad that the news is not accurately portraying where the money's going and what it's covering. It's not accurately portraying what these kids are protesting. The few reports I've seen down here makes them out like they're wild tyrants that are running around destroying crap, when that's not what's happening. I can go outside and see it for myself on my own campus. And our governor's like, oh, well, they need to just make that an outlaw. And I'm like, oh, so now you want to take away our right to freely assemble and protest?
Yeah.
That's what our new governor's all about. How many rights can I take away from the people in Louisiana? So, but I hold the news very responsible for not accurately covering and portraying what's really going on, because it gets people upset and protesting against something that's not actually happening.
Right.
So yeah, and
Okay.
people can get hurt that way.
Yes.
So actually, I have a little bit different take on it. And I think these kids have been stirred up by somebody who has a different agenda. And here I have, they think they're the knights in the shining armor making a protest. And they have a good hearts, and they're there for
Yeah.
the right reason. But there's a different kind of group that has come in that stirred this all up. And it's based on illusionary ideas.
Yes.
So this is really part of the reason that this has been done is to stir things up, take the attention off Trump and make Biden look bad. All of it is not, it's been orchestrated. But these kids are decent kids who think they're doing the right thing because they hit all the bells and whistles to make them feel like they're doing something honorable, to cry out for this. But it isn't for that purpose. The big picture is for something, another agenda.
Well, I have heard that there is a bunch of people that have come in that are leading this, that are not students. They're
No.
not part of the university. And you're absolutely right. They are stirring up trouble.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, what are you going to do? Because really what these kids are talking about makes total sense. And they're trying to do the right thing. So it's unfortunate that they've gotten other people that these other people have gotten them kind of headed in the wrong direction. And that's where they come up with the money, that we've got to stop with the money. And no, we don't.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But this is what I saw. The rock was thrown. The rock, not for the students, but they made their bed. Like you make your bed, you have to lie in it, meaning the Hamas. But here's the shield. This is the aid getting to everyone, and the food that needs to be gotten to people who are innocent bystanders.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. There's always two sides to everything, and you can't be inhumane. There are people who aren't fighting in this war who are Palestinians, and the Israelis who got kidnapped. All of that, none of it was right. And human beings need to have aid, and they need to eat and be taken care of.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with you, Val. I picked some cards, and because my sense was that yes, we do need to have the right to protest, because it's fundamental. If you see something wrong, you need to be able to bring attention to it. So
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right.
And as Tracy said, yeah, we have a right to protest. I absolutely support protests. We don't have a right to riot. And
Exactly.
that's when it goes the one step past just a protest. So my sense has been for a few days that, yeah, the kids aren't doing this on their own.
No.
That someone is fanning the flames. Someone is using this as an opportunity to, to make Biden
their agenda.
to make it look like he can't control his own people and so on, and he has to take the pressure off of Trump as well, because you're talking about protests and what. I did pull some cards, and I started off with the Magician, which is, other forces coming in, and they have the finances, they have the backing, they have the tools that they need to agitate these kids. Okay, they are in the decision-making process. It is that they are determining where they're going to put their energy next, and how to take advantage of these kids who are doing the right thing. They just don't realize that they have been hoodwinked.
They've been manipulated into it.
Absolutely manipulated. And I think that, the people that are kind of in control are hoping that this is going to be a victory for them, that they're going to use this situation as a way to Yes, get people to turn people against Biden, because no matter what you hear in the news about, oh, Trump is leading by so much, no, he's not. No,
Right.
he's not.
No, he's not. And I
Yeah.
just asked, how is this going to affect Biden? I think it's just going to be a little dust that has to be swept away, little tongue wagging. But Biden's still got the angel wings.
Yeah, good.
And I pulled and got the Magician as well. And then I
Yes.
pulled the Seven of Pentacles. So they're being led to
Yes.
get something. Like I said, they're being given construed, mixed up information and getting
Yes.
them all worked up. Because the last card I got was the Moon.
Yeah.
So,
I got the moon
everything's
too.
being clouded up. Yeah.
It's all an illusionary kind of
Playing on their emotions.
Mhm.
And yeah, and
Yeah.
yes, it does remind me of the 60s and the Vietnam War. It
Right.
reminds me
Yeah.
more recently with the former Yugoslavia, as it was breaking up, where up until that point, the Serbians, the Bosnians, the Croatians, the Montenegrins, they lived together in communities. It didn't matter. You made note of where someone was from, but you didn't put more behind it until certain people got involved and started to fan the flames.
Mhm.
Well, the reason that you can't get a job is because so and so, who happens to be
Right.
Serbian, has
Right.
taken this over, and you can't, you go to court and you can't get a decent judge or whatever because the Bosnians have got this. So it stokes it brings up a resentment that
Mhm.
wasn't there.
Yes.
And
It's an age-old technique to stir up the factions.
Yes.
That's what they've been doing from a long time ago.
Yes.
Stir up the factions. They did it in Hitler's day. They did it in Stalin's day.
Yeah.
You take the factions and you
Us
stir
against
them
them.
up. I
During
mean,
the George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter things, they had peaceful protesters, and then the other side would send in a couple of people to kind of infiltrate that would go and run and start busting windows out and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
So that they would all get in trouble. And fortunately, most of the protesters caught on to it. And the minute they saw somebody doing that, they would grab them, hold them down, and drag them to the police.
I did hear about
and
that.
say, this is not, this person's not part of us.
They didn't want to get blamed for,
right.
They didn't want to get to tarnish their image by something like that happening. And it's been proven. You learn from history. History is your educator. So you've got to have accurate history. And when you look back at Gandhi, who sat, and look at what Gandhi accomplished from his peaceful protests. I mean, you can move the world literally and change everything from peaceful protests. You don't have to go beyond that.
Dally brings out a good point, the Wolf Girl Oracle.
Yes.
She says in Israel, Palestinians and Israelis live side by side as friends forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is all being fanned and blown into something that it's not.
It's an
because
way to divide.
I remember when Golda Meir and Sadat, was that his name?
Omar Sadat, yeah.
Omar Sadat. I remember when that peace treaty was, and the two of them standing there shaking hands. I mean, Jimmy Carter had a hand in that.
Yes.
He managed to get that done.
I have Anwar Sadat's autobiography because I admired him so much.
Oh, wow.
I can't even tell you what a remarkable human being Anwar Sadat was.
Yes.
So, yeah, I get the chills even saying his name. So, yeah.
So, what Val had already said about Biden, I mean, that is my biggest concern, is that these younger people don't understand that Biden doesn't have the kind of control they think. I understand why they want to stop the money, but they need to understand that they need the money for humanitarian reasons, and that Biden is not, this is not our war. He can't really go in there and say, well, just stop it. And they think that if we don't give them money, that will stop the war.
No.
Not.
No, they're being fed a bunch of baloney that isn't true.
That's where I hold the press responsible, because they're not being truthful in what they're reporting.
Yeah.
The press has been very biased as to which side. I mean, I've had a few conversations with students on campus myself to say, you do realize that our president has no control over what their government leaders do.
Yes.
It's not like he can pick up the phone and say, hey, knock it off. And they're going to listen to him. I mean.
Excuse me, I have to leave for just a second. I've got the wrong camera on.
Oh, okay.
I'll be right back.
We'll carry on.
We'll carry on. Don't
I just
worry.
want to say, I threw some cards on whether the kids, the students, will get it, will figure this out. And they'll see that it was all for money. They're going to look at themselves and see they were manipulated. And what do I have? This is Biden's card. Then they're going to see what Biden's actually doing. They're going to end their drama and the stuff that they're doing and see that this is a sort of, this whole thing with Palestine and Israel, Hamas, and the United States is a house under construction. It's agreements and things. And, this ghost just represents the fact that we will do this to Israel by way of not giving them aid, but make sure aid gets to the Palestinians and whoever the Israeli people are that need aid, not to the government. Right. You know what I'm saying? Not through the government. So this is like ghosting the government, but giving everything to the people. But it seems to me it's pretty clear that the students are going to get it together and go, wait a minute, we're being duped. Because I feel like Biden is going to talk to those kids.
Mm-hmm.
And he is going to say, look at here, no, in a nice way, but he's going to say, this is what we're doing, kids.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing. And they're going to go, oh man, that's the end of that universe. Yeah. Boom. Oh,
I think you're right. Yeah. I think you're right. I'm sorry.
And not to toot my own horn, but that's what Sylvia and I are going to be discussing on Sunday is Biden and how to present the facts of what he has already done, what he's still trying to do, so that people can get a handful of facts in their head and go, oh, when they get hit with the nonsense, they can be able to rattle it off. Oh, well, he did this and he did this and he's done this. And you didn't like that? I mean.
Okay. I apologize. I did have a little technical difficulty. I am in a different setting today than I normally am, and things are a little rough around the edges. So,
you're fine.
You're fine. Did we have any more that we wanted to say about the protesters and what was going on, or do we need to move on?
I think I just want to echo what Val said and agree with that, because I as she was talking, I threw cards when she mentioned about Biden talking to them. I got the 8 of Wands. I think this is something that, he's going to realize he's going to have to talk to them fairly soon, because he's explaining the way that the world works. Right? Yeah, he's going to explain it to them. And then a lot of them are going to walk away. They're going to say, oh,
they're going to go the whole thing.
Uncle Joe's going to do what he does best.
Yes. Yeah. He's going to be the adult in the room, and he's going to explain it to them. And it won't be long before I think those kids are really going to understand what happens to them when they see the people who have been urging them on just kind of back into the shadows.
Yes.
Right? Then it's going to be, oh, really? Okay. It was okay when I was getting arrested and tossed out of school and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a really sad thing that a lot of these kids got tossed out of school. They've been
Yes.
expelled. And, I mean, it's
Well,
terrible.
these
terrible.
outsiders are giving them incorrect information. Is that what
Yes.
you all were saying? Okay.
And that we see Joe coming in and having the conversation with the students to say, look at this aid money is going to the people who are needing aid on both sides. It's not going to the government to fund
Yeah.
arms. So
Yeah.
this is what they need to hear. And this
Yeah.
is what will shift the whole thing.
Yeah.
The kids are not going to be in that dark moon illusion for that much longer. Because Marina got what was it? What are the sticks? The fast moving.
The 8 of Wands. Yeah.
8 ones. 8.
The sticks. I got the sticks.
Got those pointy sticks. And they're fast.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I
So,
like those pointy sticks.
and I love hearing that because yes, they are trying to make Biden look bad, or they are making him look bad, and they don't have the right information. So I hope they see this show so that he can go ahead and correct things and make it all better.
Yeah, watch the show, Joe. You don't have to keep calling me.
So, and the other thing in politics that's been going on is the disgraced former president. And I just saw this thing today, and I'm like, oh my God. Well, I mean, he's going through the trial, and he was complaining about everything. And even though he wasn't going out and doing his running around all the states or doing his campaigning, he wasn't doing that, but he was complaining about that the judge wouldn't let him do anything. Then he said he couldn't go to the son's graduation. The judge never did say that. Now it's been set up that yes, indeed, they are going to take that day and let him go ahead and do that. And so he, and in one of his rallies,
Will he go?
in one of his rallies, he said, I'm a lover, not a fighter. And I'm thinking, oh God, I can't believe you said that when you're in court right now over
Yes.
being with 2 different women behind your wife's back, and now you're saying you're a lover, not a fighter. Oh my God! What?
Yeah, you're a cheater and a coward is what
Thank
you
you.
are. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what it translates into.
Yes.
And I'm just wondering how everybody feels like this court thing is going. I feel like it's going very well.
I agree with you, Cleo. It's going really well. Really well. Even, I mean, it's outstanding, actually.
Uh-huh.
Even though there's been a few articles on the internet where they're acting like, well, see, he didn't do it. There's nothing illegal about doing that. No, they're missing the point. The prosecution is setting up the case. So, because, they're saying, well, it's not illegal to write a check. It's not illegal to pass money on to somebody else. It's not illegal to meet with somebody. It's not, and they're totally missing it. What is illegal is to lie to the American people in 2016 when you're trying to figure out who to vote for president.
It's a manipulation. It's really a manipulation, and it's illegal to do what he did to hide that when he was running for the presidency. Paying hush money to keep things out of the news, to keep things quiet, to not let people know. And by the way, all of that,
That's why David Pecker's testimony was so
crucial. So crucial.
And really a bomb falling down, because
bombs.
He let them know from the get-go, oh yeah, I was getting paid to catch and kill these stories,
Put articles in about the competitors to make sure they looked really horrible. Make up stories. Make them up.
Oh yeah.
And so then Trump could later go, oh, did you see that story in the blah, blah, blah?
Yeah. So
Well,
someone
love-
said, yeah,
love
I
that-
heard.
Bush and Cheney did that after 9/11.
I
They
love that they
they
broke
got together with Haberman, whatever her name is, in the New York Times, and got her to write up some stuff, and then turned around and used the false information they gave her that she wrote up about, used that as, well, this is why we did it, because it was in the New York Times.
Well, but the Inquirer, please. I mean, this just
Yeah.
it exposed, and we've always known this about magazine or newspapers like the Inquirer, that we're, it's just a bunch
There's a
of
reason they're called rags.
It's established
Rags.
totally, always has been, always will be, and they purposely misdirect things
Yeah.
so that people understand if they didn't get it before that those articles are nonsense. Now they know, because the guy that used to be the owner or publisher or whatever he was, he came around and said it. Yeah, it's BS. So what? That sold.
They see a gold mine with all those lies. They're making money off of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
When
it
you
wasn't until, I think it was Carol Burnett was the one that had the balls to sue the National Enquirer for false information and won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they started kind of toning back a little bit after that. It's still pretty bad, but not like it used to be. I mean, it used to be a lot worse.
They're still full of shit. They just got to be a little more careful of how they do
How
it.
they say
There'll be
it, yeah.
one kernel of maybe some truth, and then the rest is just a made up thing around it.
Exactly. Yeah,
So-
it's like, a source
Yeah.
close to so and so
Yes.
told us on condition of anonymity
Yes.
that means you made it up.
Yeah, you made it
Well,
up.
everyone is saying,
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
Everyone says, who's everyone?
Who's everyone?
Throw a couple of names out there. Let me,
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
they're just full of bloated BS.
Yeah. That's really true.
I think Trump is realizing in this trial that he is gonna walk away from a lot of things that he has held dear, because everything that he has, everything that he believes about himself is tied up with his money. If he doesn't have the money, who is he? He's nothing. And he's seeing that
He's
money.
a loser.
He's a loser. Yes. So he sees his world slipping away. Yes. Exactly. Graveyard. It's funny because I heard that he was complaining about the lawyer that he has now. Is it Blanche? Yeah, I think Blanche. That he's not nearly as aggressive as Roy Cohn used to be, and he needs him some Roy Cohn. And it's funny because I get the nostalgia card. He's looking, I need to have that kind of lawyer. And he forgets that Roy Cohn was actually disbarred for doing some pretty nasty, shady things. So he is.
This is who Trump cares about.
Yeah, Trump cares about
Himself.
Trump. Yeah,
Well, the thing is, Glenn Kirshner says that his problem he is getting into with his attorneys and yelling at them for not going at these people hard, which would make them, even the jurors, all these people who are going on the stand, and he's not cross-examining them in a way in which it rips them apart, which makes the jury hate Donald Trump. If he did what Trump wanted, it would make the jury hate. But anyway, that's not the point I wanted to make, is that he said that it is not the lawyer's job to do the client's bidding. At this stage,
yes,
the client shuts up. The lawyer does what the lawyer knows how to do. And that's why Trump is pissed off, because he's not following Trump's instructions. No, he's an attorney, not taking instructions.
He wants to keep
from
his
client.
license.
He's being an attorney. And attorneys are not to take instruction from the client during a trial. They're conducting the trial. I mean,
Yeah,
they're doing their
That's
part.
one of the ways that they get disbarred is because
Yes.
they do things that is not within the law for the benefit of their client.
Correct.
And yeah,
And not
can't do
not
that.
yes, and everything is unethical he's asking them to do. And of course they're
course.
not going to pay.
Of course.
When the client has been found with the knife in hand, he's been busted cold.
Handed, busted.
The lawyers are looking at all of the construction of trying to reconstruct what happened, but tell it in their way.
Yes.
So in a lot of ways, their job is just, they're there to repair everything. But if they have a client who won't let them do their job, then
Well, I think passing air so your lawyers can't breathe is pretty bad.
yeah,
I mean, let's get practical here. I mean, if you can't breathe, how are you going to even concentrate on defending
the
your
sergeant
client?
at arms should go in the morning before Trump and his lawyers show up, and they should put like 50 what are those air fresh things that you
Yeah.
twist and open all on the desk all around, glue them down to the desktop so they
Then
can't
it would be stink with a flower on top.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, and all the stuff that all the charades that Trump is doing in the courtroom, where he's dozing off, and falling, and everybody's like, he's dozing off, he's dozing off. No, what he's doing is he's just giving the big FU to the court.
Yeah.
And it's not going to serve his best. It's not going to serve him well.
No, because
I
the
mean,
jury does not like it. They do not
No.
like his behavior in court at all.
They think he's extremely disrespectful.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
I mean,
Disrespectful. Yeah, and as if this case means nothing to him, and it's just all nonsense.
which is insulting the jurors,
Yes.
members who are sitting there giving their attention and time. And that is not going to fly very well. That disrespect.
No,
Yeah, no.
I love it that he just keeps screwing himself.
But he had to, because that's who he is. His dad
Let
bailed
Trump
him out
be
of all
Trump.
his bullets.
Yeah, that's what he does best.
He does it best. He's art of the fool. That is the name of the. It's not art of the deal. Art of the fool.
Absolutely.
He is the biggest one around. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was, they have 4 more cases where they say that he broke the gag order. And he was complaining. Well, in front of Judge Marchant this morning, yes, his lawyer Blanchard was complaining that, Trump he's not being allowed to defend himself, to speak his truth and so on. Well, Judge Marchant put a kibosh on that real quick and said, basically, in essence, listen, your client is approaching the press. The press are not coming to your client. There are several doors out of which he can go out of when he leaves the building. He chooses that door to where they are. So, and it got to the point that, Blanche had to say, yeah, you're right. And Trump apparently was livid.
Hey, the truth
play
is the truth.
stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure that out. Hello.
Yeah.
What does he think we're all mega stupid?
They're trying to make it crystal clear to the man.
I mean,
you can't keep up doing your BS because nobody wants to hear it now. They're all on to you. All he's doing is he's sinking in.
I got the graveyard too. That's the second graveyard tonight.
That's it.
Yes.
Well, and the other thing that Trump.
Second time the repairman came up too. So
yes, absolutely.
I'm sorry, Cleo. I didn't mean to.
Michelle says, "Love the art of the fool, Val. I think the art of the tool is fitting as well." Yes, it is, Michelle.
Very fitting. Art of the tool. Yeah. What were you saying? Leo?
That's a good question. What was I saying? Oh, I know. The thing about, that he keeps coming out and patting himself on the back and building himself up because he got the Supreme Court to get rid of Roe versus Wade. And he's looking around like, look what I did. I just love it that son of a bitch does that, because every woman in the country that's watching this is like, wait, he did what? That was him? He's taken, because it's not just about the abortion, it's about women's rights, and everybody's got to get that. But, this is not a good thing. Biden wants it to be reinstated. Trump is saying he's taking credit for having, gotten rid of it.
Oh, he's wanting them to hunt them down and put them in prison for murder.
Yes.
Yes. But now I see him at his little rally, and he said, no, here's what I did. And he's so quiet and get the hands going. And so
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's playing that accordion, boy.
And he says, no, basically we're turning it over to the states.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, that's not at all what you originally said. You said, I wanted to ban abortion. The Supreme Court agrees with me because I put people in there that I control and manipulate. I am concerned about that. This thing with the Supreme Court. But anyway,
Yeah.
with the abortions, he wants to take away women's rights. So everybody keep that in mind when it gets time to vote. Who do you want? Do you want the person, Biden, that wants everybody to have their rights and have a say over their own body? Or do you want this idiot?
It was either, I don't remember if it was a senator or a representative, Republican, just the other day, who on a hot mic said to the press, well, we don't need women voting. They because they vote emotionally. They don't.
Oh my God.
Yes, we do
Oh
vote
my
emotionally, especially when you're talking about taking away my right to make decisions about my body.
But I did throw cards on Roe v. Wade just now. It's going to have an open road. The treadmill of what's going on with 45 is not going to happen. Here's the women. Gasoline on the fire.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody is going to get a good look after we tell them what's up. So
Yes.
don't worry. Don't worry.
I totally agree with
Page
that.
Wands, they're going to get the message out.
And this voting that's coming up in November, it's going to be all about the women. How do the women vote? And they don't really care about, when they get to the voting thing, about Republican or Democrat. They're very willing to cross party lines.
They will. I'm getting the chills up and down, Cleo. I totally get that they will cross any party line they have to make sure women's rights don't get any further eroded.
Yes.
And that's where it's heading. That is exactly where it's heading if we don't stop this now. And I'm just so pleased with how Biden is, he's been very upfront about how he wants to change this and go back to the way things are. And as far as the Supreme Court, I see that we have to make a change with the Supreme Court. Instead of putting people in for life, they need to be like reviewed every 4 years or something, because this is dangerous to have the most powerful court of the land being able to be manipulated by somebody like Trump. I mean, it's just craziness.
Well, and Biden's already talking about if we keep the Senate and we get the House back, which we will, he's talking about codifying it, making it absolute, so they can't go in and change it or whatever.
There's a sticky wicket with the Supreme Court with SCOTUS about having oversight by whom, because oversight is a dangerous thing. Maybe term limits, because here's the concept. They are supposed to be the impartial overseers of our law to make sure by the Constitution things are
follow the Constitution.
followed, but that new things are thought over in every angle, in every direction, in every way. Can this be upheld? Can this be made law? Can this be whatever? So here's the thing about that. You can't be, if you're a Democrat or a Republican, you can't be so blinded by your party that you cannot follow the Constitution of the United States as we understand it today, not by that organization who wants to put us in the handmaid's tale. And what organization am I talking about? It's that one that
The Heritage Foundation.
Amy Coney Barrett belongs to. Well, half of them. So here's the deal. You have to pick people who are nonpartisan. In absolute, you have to absolutely ferret it out that they have things that aren't going to work and get rid of them. One of those people was Clarence Thomas, and they should have not have ever confirmed him because they should have listened when they heard the story of, now her name, Anita Hill. I watched the whole thing. She was telling the truth, honestly, and what everything should have been heard. This guy was a little despicable. Okay.
And to tell you the kind of man Joe Biden is, he was on that board that voted against what she was saying, and then came to her and apologized publicly years later for not believing her. Yeah.
But my point being that there has to be some other way that you pass a test to be confirmed so that they can catch the ones who have ideologies that are so powerful they override their job being impartial and overseeing everything to protect the Constitution of the United States of America and thereby the people. So
Val, that wouldn't be that difficult because think about it.
No, it wouldn't.
When you're in those confirmation hearings, they were Comey Barrett, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh. They were all asked specifically about Roe v. Wade.
Yes.
And they said, oh, no.
They lied up their ass. They lied up their, I'm sorry.
Exactly. So I think that with a good series of questions, you can ask them, get them on record. No, this is what I think. No. It's, you don't touch it. It's fine the way that it is. And then if the situation comes up where they say, oh no, I no longer believe that. Well, guess what? You're no longer on the Supreme Court. Thanks for coming. Here's your watch.
No. You know what? I am all for it. I love what you just said, Marina. I love what you just said. And I have to agree with you that if it's just like when you, and the same thing about this, when you run for a position as a representative, and you're going to be a Democrat, by God, you better not change your party when you get in there. Don't even try it, because you should be kicked out right away. It shouldn't even be.
You could automatically lose your seat.
Lose your seat. And this is the same thing about everything you told the committee to become a Supreme Court justice. You better be telling the truth, and you better honor what you say.
Exactly.
And I have just made Marina an official citizen. She's an honorary citizen in the United States of America because she knows politics better than most.
That's true.
She can name off some of the Supreme Court justices. How many people can do that?
I mean, I've had several friends that, are immigrants, that they took the citizenship test to become Americans. Most of these numbnuts wouldn't be able to pass a citizenship test if their life depended on it.
Yes.
Hell, I barely passed it. I took it just to see
Yeah.
I thought, I'm like, oh, I'm pretty well versed in what our government and
Yeah.
our history is. Holy moly. I mean, I made it just barely. They
Yeah.
ask questions about stuff that I've never even heard taught in schools.
Yeah. I remember that was in
Thank
American
you, Garden
history.
Genie. Thank you, Linda.
U.S. history in high school in senior
And now
year.
they don't even
we
teach.
learned about it.
They don't even
Yeah.
teach government or
Civics? No.
current events and civics and stuff
I'm
anymore.
appalled, and it's abhorrent that these kids are going out and they don't know how their own government works. That is the height of irresponsibility. When my parents were in school, they even taught Latin. I mean,
Yes.
come on. And that was in Marysville, California, in Marysville High. And they were teaching Latin and all these advanced things. And what are we doing today with our kids?
Yeah, I
Nothing.
mean, we learn, how does the
Programming.
government work? How is a bill made? I mean,
Yes. I am a bill on Capitol Hill.
I used to sing that when my kids were little.
But yeah, it was a fun way to learn.
And, I learned something from it.
Yes, absolutely.
I think there was a whole generation of kids that learned how a bill was made because of
That's
that
right.
little cartoon
that,
song,
right?
That's
I learned,
right.
and I was the mom.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I
So
forgot.
listen, I don't know, Cleo, if this was on your list of things, but shall we talk about the puppy killer?
Oh God, the puppy.
About the what?
The puppy, killer.
Christy Noam.
Kirsty Noam.
Oh,
Oh, and I didn't even go when I saw that. I was so disgusted by
I
the whole
know.
thing. I didn't even bother to read into
yeah,
it.
it's hard to
If
even.
you could kind of brush up on some of the facts of what you're talking about. Let's go ahead and talk about that.
Well, she grew up on a farm, and then
I
she
grew
ended
up on a
having to
farm.
run it, and then she ended up having to run it. And apparently, this was like either a hunting dog or some kind of working dog that
It was a
wouldn't.
hunting dog.
Yeah, and he wouldn't behave properly. He'd go chew up the chickens or
It was
chew
a
up
14-month-old puppy.
and he wouldn't pay attention to what she was saying. And so she bragged that she shot him in the head. And then that wasn't enough. There was apparently a smelly goat. She didn't like it was old, so it smelled. She shot it dead too and bragged about that. And that's about it. I don't think there's much to say other than
Who
that person
who is she?
psych
Telling us
evaluation. They need a psych
She
evaluation.
should be charged with animal cruelty. is what she
Yes.
should be.
Don't
absolutely.
you think so? Don't you think so?
Yes.
Absolutely.
There, out of all the options that were available
All the
to her, taking the dog to the gravel pit and shooting it was the last option.
Yeah.
If
It wouldn't even have been an option.
Yeah.
I've heard this past week, I've heard several well-known, very successful dog trainers who have come out and said, I don't know what the hell she was trying to teach that dog to do, but if she was training it right, and at 14 months, that dog's not going to learn what you want it to learn overnight. It takes sometimes a couple of years.
And is this the
He
one?
had a shock collar on the dog as well.
Yeah.
And
Wait a minute. Is this the woman that wants to be VP for Trump?
yes,
Yes.
What is her name again?
Christy,
Noam.
Kristi. Noam, Noem.
Yeah.
And she right now holds some position in politics.
She's a governor of
he's the governor of
South Dakota, North Dakota.
South Dakota.
Governor of South Dakota. Scary, scary, scary.
Yes.
Oh my
That's
God.
the 3 words I have.
That is,
And she's in agreement that one of the faces on Mount Rushmore should be removed and put Trump's up there.
Oh,
That's what he wants to have done. And she was publicly has said, "Oh, that would be a wonderful idea."
Wow.
Well, you know
Wow.
what? When she gets, I'm going to tell you one thing right now. That she wouldn't be able to touch Mount Rushmore. Not with a 10-foot pole.
She's not allowed on any of the reservation lands
No.
Yeah, I
because
wonder
that's
why.
native land. They get to decide who can and cannot come onto their
They
land.
got good taste.
She's not allowed to come on their lands.
They have good taste.
Yeah, this
Uh,
is that they. I remember when I heard it, and I could just feel my stomach twist and move, because what came to mind first, a 14-month-old puppy.
Yeah,
It's still a puppy at 14 months.
yeah,
You work with it, you try to train it, but it's still a puppy mind.
yeah.
And she took it on a hunt and with some other older dogs, and she thought that the puppy would learn from the older dogs. Well, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, because it's, they're little kids. Like, just, you can't take a 3-year-old and put them in with 9-year-olds and expect the 3-year-old to act like the 9-year-old. They're 3 years old. That's what they're going to act like.
More likely, you're going to get the 9-year-olds that are going to act
Acting
like the 3-year-olds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even
So
if it didn't behave, though, Marina.
give it away.
Thank you.
Give it away. How
Thank you.
many people out there would have loved to have had this wired hair terrier or no, it was a pointer or something. Anyway,
This is a
take
bird
it to
bird dog.
a bird dog. Take it to a shelter and say, this is supposed to be a bird dog, doesn't like birds. Now,
Like
the other thing that really upset her was that the dog, quote unquote, ruined the hunt because he got so excited with all the birds. He was chasing all the birds.
Mhm.
Well, isn't that what?
That's
Okay,
a bird
it's a
dog
puppy.
likes birds, chases birds. Yes. Instinct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And
Check
then
the box.
wouldn't listen and went into the on the neighbor's property and got into the chicken pen or something and killed some chickens.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're birds.
It's like bird dog goes after birds. Check.
Well, all in all,
Give
it's
it away.
the most disgusting,
Yes,
heartbreaking, pathetic story I've heard in a long time.
I
And
know.
then to know that she's a governor.
Yeah.
What state is she a governor of?
South Dakota,
South Dakota.
where Mount Rushmore is.
Oh, excuse me. I should have been up on that. Yeah, so where Mount Rushmore is. It's just a horrible story.
I've tried to read on it several times this past week, and every time I attempt to do it, I get so upset I have to walk away.
Yeah, it is. It's just upsetting. I mean,
It's very upsetting.
There's just no excuse. And then she wrote it in a book, right?
Yes.
Well, let me
Yeah.
just tell you what the cards say. They're going to scoop her up,
Yeah.
the jail cell. She's a sunken ship. So she wrote, she cannot recover from this. It's
No.
not recoverable. She already. So
And
don't
doesn't
even-
understand why people are upset about it.
she isn't getting out of this. She's not going to recover.
No, there's no way to walk any of it back.
No.
I mean,
No.
you did what you did. It was a horrible thing. You lied to
She-
your kids.
She doubled down about it and
Yeah.
was like, "Oh well, we're on a farm. That's what people on farms
Like
do."
that. Like that.
I can't tell you how many farmers and ranchers have come forward and say, "No, that's not what we do.
No.
We don't do
No,
that." You know.
no, they take when they have to humanely dispose of an animal, they take that very seriously.
Yes, they
They
do.
don't just whatever. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Marina. I was really not up on it. And now that I am, I'm even more disgusted than when I saw the first headline about it.
yeah,
And there's no rhyme or reason.
No.
And we just, I don't know. Maybe they got weird water wherever she's at. I don't know what her problem is. Was there anything else that anybody wanted to discuss today? Because we're getting down to our hour and 5 minutes,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so there's nothing else.
No, I think
No, but I do agree with Garden Genie, who said,
Yeah.
"Oh, can we talk about something nice? Let's
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, let's end on yes." Something. Okay, she's saying Carolyn Gleach.
She's
And this
running for Senate in Utah. She's a Democrat.
The energy. Okay, Utah. Carolyn Gleach. Okay, let's do that. Yes. Oh, Linda, we love you too. Love when you come into the chat. You know, I love when everyone comes into the chat because it's such a great energy. Like even, especially on the days if I'm not feeling 100%, and I'm thinking I don't know if I want to do the show, but I do the show. You guys energize me. So.
And,
Yeah.
and what is the thing you were wanting to read? Is there something over in the chat section that you were referring to?
Yeah, there's
707 under Garden Genie with all the question
it was
marks.
Garden Genie, and it was a lady in Utah, a Democrat in Utah, that were written, and the name is
That it?
I just had it. Gleach, Caroline Gleach,
Caroline Gleach.
Gleich.
Caroline Gleach.
But I'm very puzzled by her cards, I'm sorry to say. Oh.
Well,
Oh.
I'm starting out with the King of Cups, so that's a good sign. And then the Seven of Pentacles, so she's going to be working for it. It's not going to be handed to her. But then I've got the Six of Wands, and she's holding the gold trophy. So
Oh.
that's a possibility, but
Yeah.
she's going to have to work for it. That's what those Seven of Pentacles.
Yeah.
It's not going to just come to her easy weasy. She got to work for it, because I also get the Graveyard.
Yeah, and
And I get the Compass True North, and I get a baby angel. So
something's going to come up about her that she totally out of left field. She does not anticipate it. She thought that it was something that that she had dealt with. Yes, she's young, and it was something in her past. What'd you get, Val?
I got that King of Cups. This is all the way toward the end of my read, and there's the battling, and there's the backstab.
Yeah.
But I had the King of Cups too. Yeah.
Okay, so this is Five of Cups, Three of Swords, the Eight of Cups, Tower,
yes,
and Five of Wands. So no, I think this is it. There's going to be a lot of people, I think, that are going to want her to succeed. And this is something that is going to come up about her past that she thought she had dealt with. She's not being very honest about it. I think that she's going to try to kind of justify or walk her way out, and
they're going to reveal it and ghost her.
Yeah.
Yep.
These I pulled first.
Yeah.
And that your reading totally makes sense. This was the last card, the ghost. So they're going to make her naked, reveal her truth.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate, because you know what? Who among us
like
has
a
not
thief
made
in
a
the
mistake?
night. Yeah, they're doing it like a thief in the night. It's unfortunate. Yeah.
Oh, well.
But that doesn't mean she won't. Well, I don't know if she'll get in or not. That's after or before. I don't know.
Is it Mitt's seat that she's running for? Mitt Romney's seat,
Probably. Well,
Is that
no,
the one that's going
or
on?
is it the other one?
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, well.
There you go. Okay. So we, just so that we can end on a really
Yes.
positive, can we pull a couple cards for the collective?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's do that.
Yes. Totally.
Because why not? Because we can.
Because we can. We have cards and we know how to use them.
We have cards.
Well,
I got
amongst all the horrible things that have been going on, I mean, we are coming to a point in the road where things do start to get better, and it's
Yes.
really happening this year. It's just that we talked about this last year about the ups and downs that we're going to go
Yes.
through, and we're still in that process. And if everybody's paying attention, we'll see. We're gonna. This is really a learning time
yes.
this year about how to avoid con men and liars, and who really needs to be running the country. Things are going to get better, but sometimes, like I've said before, it's one step back, two step forward, then one step back.
Yes.
But the things in the politics, they are going to get screwier. But in the end, finally, I really do see that things clear up. They get better.
Yes.
People finally start, instead of saying, "Well, I'm this, and so that's the way. I'm a Republican, so I want it this way," or "I'm a Democrat," and with no flexibility. I think that over time things are going to get better, and that these wars will settle down. And but most of all, that we need to have President Biden be president again, and I
Yes.
believe that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's my good news.
I like that good news, and I totally agree with it. And I pulled the oracle. You are your own oracle. Go
Wow.
within for answers. And what is the second card? Your vibrations. They're rising, and you notice they're connected to every single thing in the multiverse. So we are connected to everything. Remember that as you let your beautiful light radiate out, and your feelings. Check your bad thoughts at the door. And Marina, what do you have?
Yeah. You know what? I start off with the 5 of Swords and go to the 9 of Cups. And that tells me that all this fighting, bickering, the back and forth, yes, it's a learning lesson, and it is a way to identify people that we resonate with the lovers. It's we need to see what needs to be fixed before you can fix it. You don't just go in there and start, right? Identify the problem first, then we can work on it. And this is going to be a decision. People are going to be making decisions and saying, no, you know what? I'm going to choose a different path.
Yeah.
I'm going to choose something that is going to be more open, more beneficial to everyone. So yeah, I agree with both you and Cleo. Yeah. Things are getting better. We're just, we're just learning how to crawl. We'll be walking soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I started out with the Emperor, so this is right now. I'm reading this as Biden. We're looking to him for leadership, doing the right thing, to go with strength, because we are strong enough to get through this.
Yes.
We just got to keep telling ourselves that, yeah, we can get through this. It will get better. It's not on the silver platter. We have to work for it.
Yes.
So
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I want to thank all the chatters for showing up, because without you guys, we wouldn't have a show. And also all the good input that you have, and you know so much. You're so smart out there, and I
Yeah.
love the questions and I love the comments. And we're the Golden Girls. We're on here about twice a month, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. And we'll be back. And thank you so much for being here.
You're very welcome. Take care, everyone. See
We'll be
you
back
later.
on the 16th. Val will be hosting.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.